I could have done a better job, I think, at being transparent with the caliber of doubts in which I was having.
What kind of people would you say you surrounded yourself with at FSU?
Yeah, I would say people that did not have a moral compass. I'm going to give Catholicism a shot, a true shot, until I graduate college.
Okay.
So whatever it means to be Catholic, I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to do it. But if I graduate college and I'm still confused, I'm leaving the church, 1. And 2, I'm never looking back.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to Leave the 99. I am your host, Brendan Murphy, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, Miss Kai Summer.
Hello.
All the way from Houston, Texas. Kai, so glad to have you on the show. Kai Summer is a graduate of Ave Maria University. She is currently working for Truthfully AI as head of support and operations there. And she also has an Instagram account that has over 12,000 followers, a Catholic POV. Kai, how you doing this morning?
Doing good. Yeah, great to be here.
How's the trip been down to Ave?
Cannot complain. I mean, Southern Florida is one of a kind, so let's do this thing.
Awesome. Well, we're just going to dive right in. Today we are discussing Kylie's story. I'm really hoping that you guys really enter into this because she has a really amazing and beautiful story about coming back to the church. She grew up a cradle Catholic and kind of left the faith for a while. The tradition of the church really led her back, and it's a beautiful story. And yeah, we're just going to dive right in. So Kylie, first off, just to kind of get a good basis of how you grew up,
Sure.
what was your relationship with the faith? What was your relationship with Christ like growing up? And you can just spit.
Sure. Yeah. So growing up, had 2 wonderful Catholic parents, and Mass was always in the picture. I was baptized, got my first communion, all of those things, which was so incredible. But I would say that I had a lot of questions about the faith, and I went to public school my whole life. So I had a ton of questions about the faith, but I was in a public school environment, and because of that, my questions just went unanswered. And so as that played out in my day-to-day, I went to Mass on Sundays, and that was the only time I ever thought about Catholicism.
Yeah.
And then I think as I got a bit older, and my first couple years in high school, I was strong in air quotes in my faith. But yeah, as I continued to transition throughout the rest of high school, I was actually challenged by a lot of my teachers at this public school. They were atheist, and I was pretty outspoken about, I'm from Ave Maria, Florida. So that has a connotation to it.
Yeah, so you grew up in Ave.
I grew up in Ave. But yeah, once I was challenged by them, and these were adults, and I was 13, 14, 15, I was like, shoot. I mean, these are people that are older than me and who know more and who are kind. Like, I loved them as teachers, and they have completely different thoughts than I do. So maybe they're right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as I graduated high school, I just kept taking steps away from the faith and away from the faith, further and further. And then,
did you ever talk to your parents about any of kind of what you had relationship with your teachers, and then what they would say to you about the faith? Did you ever ask them questions?
Sure. Yeah, I definitely did, but I could have done a better job, I think, at being transparent with the caliber of doubts in which I was having. But I also think the world changed a lot since they were my age.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
One of my parents went to public school, and so I think they potentially thought they understood what was going on in these public schools, but I think it was a little bit worse.
Yeah.
So yes, I asked questions. Did I receive the answers I think I needed depth-wise? No. Is that their fault? No.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
And then was there, growing up, would you say, so you said you had first communions, you had the sacraments growing up. Did you ever have a personal experience with Christ? Like, could you pick out a moment where you were like, I think this is true, maybe when you were little or further off?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think my temperament, I'm like massively melancholic. So like, for those of you who aren't into the temperaments, you just like feel super deeply. And how would you explain that? Like the melancholic temperament
it's kind
on
of,
a podcast?
Yeah. See Metanoia Catholic for further reference, guys.
See Metanoia Catholic. All of that to say, I think from day one, my heart wanted to believe. So I wanted to believe that Jesus was there and present, and that the church was true, because that makes life beautiful. But growing up, I don't know that I ever had a super explicit experience with the Lord as a little kid.
Okay.
Other than just the beauty of the church, like the physical beauty of these churches. So I don't know. That's a great question. I would have to think more about that.
Yeah. So you said leading up, so middle school, you kind of had all these teachers that were, so you said you went to public school?
Yeah. Through and through.
Yeah. So how would these conversations kind of come up
Yeah.
in class?
Yeah, so a lot of it was in my history classes.
Okay.
So it was more of like a historical introduction.
Got you.
That would come up naturally, and there would be some differences and also in science class. It's like, oh, the Big Bang Theory. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I know this was my experience in school. I know I'm not supposed to believe that. I don't know why. And so, like, coming from Ave Maria, I'm not supposed to believe in the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And so if somebody asked me, like my adult teacher, oh, I'm stumbling over my words. I have no idea what I'm saying. And now I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
And so it was always that kind of relationship with Catholicism. Like, it embarrassed me because I didn't know how to explain it. And
Yeah.
that was
That's
tough.
such a relatable thing for a lot of young Catholics,
Sure.
especially in our generation, because of just the lack of catechesis, also just the lack of formation of parents as well,
Sure.
which is it's an unfortunate thing. It's not particularly anyone's fault.
Sure.
But to go off, so middle school and stuff, you kind of had these doubts from, you said like history classes and stuff from teachers. Exactly. So entering high school, you're still in public school. So entering high school, were you kind of, I guess, what was your disposition towards the faith entering high school from those doubts?
Sure.
Were you kind of just like, I just don't understand, so why am I going to believe in this if I don't understand it? Or are you just going to be like, I'm just going to put on a show for my parents just to be able to, be on good terms with them, I guess?
Sure. I'd say it was a good mix of both.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know that I'd call it like a show. Like when I was growing up in a Catholic town, like on the weekends, like of course I'm going to be at mass because everyone's at mass.
Yeah.
But Monday through Friday when like I'm at public school and like I was cheer captain and we're doing all that kind of stuff, like football games and fun events like that on campus where Catholicism had no place in my perspective. Of course it has a place now, but back in the day, like there was no place. And in my friend group, I was the only one who was remotely religious, if I could even call myself that at the time. So yeah, it just felt like there was no place for it there. And it wasn't so much a conscious choice of I'm going to be this way at home and this way at school. It was just, this is my worldview.
Yeah.
I'm Catholic, and all that means is that I go to mass on Sunday.
Yeah.
And that doesn't really affect much else.
Yeah. Were you an athlete in high school at all?
I actually was, yeah. So I did track for a year. I did swimming. I did cheerleading. I kind of tried everything for a season.
Yeah.
I was bad at all of it. So that's that.
That's okay, yeah. So you were an athlete. Did that have anything to play into sort of your doubt into the church? Because there is definitely, and I can speak from my own experience, when you play, I played basketball in high school pretty competitively. And I would have, my teammates would sometimes make fun of me for the stuff that I believe and stuff. And that you kind of shrug it off, but that does hit you, especially as, a 15, 16, 17-year-old kid.
Sure.
And so do you think that had anything to play into it? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I just look back at like cheerleading and I'm just like, why did I put so much of my worth and my time? I mean, just everything was like cheerleading.
Yeah.
And now I think 5 or 6 years later, I'm like, well, that has no weight in my life now whatsoever. Yeah. But it was such a good opportunity to recognize how much I think, I was just seeking to be seen and like to be seen in those ways specifically. So all a learning experience, but definitely looking back, I'm sure that contributed in some way. But yeah, I mean, I would just say anything can be an idol. Sports, like even just academics, like in the wrong environment can be an idol too. So yes, athletics was definitely an idol of mine, which is funny because like I was not good.
Yeah.
But anyways,
it
was an idol and it was really dumb that it was because I was bad. So
that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a time out here. I just want to take time to thank Maria Visions for giving us this brand new studio. You guys may have noticed that this looks a little different from our past videos in the past. And that is because I'm at school. And Maria Visions is a Catholic television network that they have viewership in America, Mexico, Latin America, over in Europe, as well in India. So huge shout out to them. Again, thank you guys so much for letting us come in and use your studio for a little while. Thank you guys. But back to it. So, Kylie, in high school, you said that you you had this doubt and you talked about idols, whether it was academics or sports or social presence, you could say. how would you, so leading up to your college decision, what was influencing you to, you ended up going to Florida State. What influenced that decision?
Sure. Yeah, so that's kind of a side tangent in itself. I'll try and make it Spark Note edition.
Go into the tangent.
I was set on being a United States Marine. Like that was the one thing that I wanted to do with my life. From a pretty young age, it was either law enforcement or the military. And so going into my senior year of high school, it was like, yeah, this is what we're going to do. So early in the school year, so the first half of my senior year, I was doing trainings with the United States Marine Corps office here in Florida. And I was going straight from cheer practice to these little trainings 3 times a week. And it was a blast. But right before I was supposed to sign to enlist, I was going to enlist. I was 17 years old.
Wow.
They mandated the COVID vaccine. And that was just a personal choice. I didn't want it. And my parents wouldn't sign off on me getting it.
So this is 2021 around then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2021 or maybe 2022.
Okay.
But yeah, so that put a quick halt to everything I thought I was going to do. And I was a week away from signing those papers. I had nothing prepped in the college application field. I wasn't going to go that route. So now I had a week to apply for colleges. And so I went online and I was like, all right, if I can't be a cool Marine, I will be a cool cop. And that's just what we're going to do. So I looked up the best schools in Florida for criminology. And Florida State was ranked number 1 and ranked, I think, number 5 nationwide. So I was like, great, I'll just go to Florida State and I'll get a degree in criminology and I'll be a cop. And then if they ever take away that vaccine mandate, I'll join the military and that'll be that. So I applied to Florida State a week before deadline was due with no prior anything, no desire of wanting to go to college, let alone like FSU or UF and any of that stuff. And that I got in and I went. So that was that. Like, was there much prudent thought into it? No. Did I go? Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then the course of your faith life. In high school, what would you say was kind of your day-to-day faith life? Was it just...
Oh, nothing. There was nothing. Oh,
just Mass on Sunday?
Yeah, Mass on Sunday. There was no day-to-day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. And then, so you make this transition from wanting to be a Marine to a cop to going to FSU to going to school, even though you didn't want to go to school.
Yeah.
What was your thought process? Like, what was just your disposition towards the whole university life? Did you participate in Greek life at all?
I didn't, but I really thought about rushing.
Okay.
It was like, I'm kind of surprised I didn't in retrospect.
Okay.
But no, I did not officially.
And then, okay, so you you're a freshman in college at FSU. Are you going to Mass at all? Are you still going to Mass on Sundays at all?
It depends how bad my week was.
Okay.
Like if it's like I'm at a low.
So you would kind of gauge.
Yes.
So it was more of like a feeling.
Yeah, it was always a feeling thing. And I would say it was also, I've always wanted to do, I think it's just the human experience. You want to do the right thing. Absolutely. And I just wasn't convicted that Catholicism was the right thing. So I didn't do it consistently. But every now and again, there was a fraction of me that was like, is this the right thing? So I'd pop in every now and again. But if I was out the night before, I'm not going to Mass the next day. Yeah. So it was like completely dependent on night plans the day before or if my friends wanted to do something instead. But if I was available and and open to it, I think receptive to it, I would attend.
Did you ever go to, does FSU have a Newman Center?
They do.
They do. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever meet people from there? Because you said sort of friends with plans with friends, excuse me.
Yeah.
Did you, so like what kind of people would you say you surrounded yourself with at FSU? Yeah,
I would say people that did not have a moral compass.
Okay.
And I say that, like I really almost get disgruntled when people are like, I hung out with bad people. I'm like, no, they are not bad people.
Yeah.
They are people who are exactly where they are granted the cards they've been dealt, which is a lack of formation. And so I hung around those people, went out with them. Typically how it goes is you just hang out with the people that you attend orientation with. So I was in an orientation group, hung out with those people through and through. And then from there you meet other people when you go out and everyone's just looking to meet people. So you get friends super quickly and in the dorms and stuff. So that was awesome. But no, I wouldn't say my friend group initially was related whatsoever to the Catholic world.
Yeah. Okay.
I went to one event in my first semester at Florida State through the actual Catholic Center.
Okay.
And I wasn't receptive. The problem was me, not the Catholic Center. But I didn't feel at home, but I wasn't open to it. So I left being like, I'm not going back.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Wow. Okay. So then you get your first semester under your belt.
Yeah.
If I remember, I remember you saying that kind of the second semester.
Yeah.
What sort of events kind of led you to what sort of events led you to being more open to the fact of being more of a practicing Catholic in the first place?
Sure. So, despite all of the crazy dreams and the Marine Corps and the cop, I always knew I wanted to get married and have a family. That was always stable, which is like such a grace from the Lord. Because I think of, just Gen Z now, and it's like people don't really want a family.
Yeah.
And so I truly say like it's a grace that desire was always constant in my life. But coming back to Ave Maria over spring break and for Thanksgiving break and Christmas break, specifically towards the end of that first semester, every family that I saw that I was like, that's nice. Like, I'm trying to get there one day. They were all Catholic. And so it came to this place of like, all right, girl, like you're saying you want one thing, and everyone you know that has that one thing and does it well
is living a completely different life. Yeah.
So what do I want to sacrifice? Is it my night plans, or is it that future marriage and that future family? And it was still up in the air. I mean, I went back and forth for a good bit there, but I think what sealed the deal was I came home for, I can't remember what break it was. I want to say it was spring break, my freshman year.
Okay.
And I saw some friends that I grew up with here in Ave Maria. They were all attending Ave Maria University, and they were just so overjoyed with life. But like, that just sounds so cliche. They were just joyful. But like, no, like they were literally just so happy to be around. Yeah. And their idea of fun was like bonfires and like just hanging out and like just a good time. Yeah. And my idea of fun was very different and very dependent on substances. So I think that was refreshing to be around. And yeah, it was just a different perspective for sure.
Gotcha.
So just started a lot of questioning in my head.
Gotcha. So a lot of questioning. So spring break kind of, you said. Was there a moment you would say during that spring break that you were kind of like, okay, like maybe I should give this a try? Or
Yes.
Okay.
But it was none other than just a moment of me thinking that. It wasn't some
and was
big,
it based was it solely based off how your friends from back home were acting, or was it you kind of had sort of a just like an honest moment with God and in church at all?
Yeah. This is what I think I would call like a perfect storm. Like it was everything. Like
Gotcha.
I was attending mass when I was home for sure, because like family's here and that's just what you do. So again, like I'm just representing the environment that I'm in. So I'm back at mass, and I'm sure the Lord was pouring out graces that allowed my heart to be open to potentially coming back. So I think all the credit would go there first, but I think secondly, definitely the friends that were just around me and that welcomed me home. And and yeah, I mean, never forget them. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so then you go back to school.
Yeah.
And what is your disposition like now? So you have
that's what it's like.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, well, darn. Like, can I be a Catholic and attend a top 5 party school?
Would you say to people like, if someone asked you what religion you are, would you still say you're Catholic?
Yes.
Okay.
At the time?
At the time, yes.
Oh, yeah. I would have said Catholic for sure. It's funny because, like, I would have defended it with, like, yeah, like, I'm Catholic. But when it was just Cafeteria Catholic.
Yeah.
Like, I was Catholic because that's what I grew up as. And, of course, I was baptized. And for me to have ever said I'm not Catholic would have just completely, like, that would have been disingenuous because I was. But was I a practicing Catholic? No. And I think I would have said that. I think I would have said I'm a Catholic, but this is what I would have said exactly.
Okay.
I'm a Catholic, but I think God understands that times have changed and some things can slide now. That's what I would have said. And I did say that.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So you're like, shoot.
Yeah.
You're like, shoot. Okay. So what's the next course of action that you take in that kind of disposition? So you're back at school. Are you still doing nightlife?
Oh, yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
So what kind of is the game changer? What kind of just happens that you're like, something's got to change?
Sure. Yeah. So throughout the rest of my senior year, I say shoot because it was just like, I'm going to just have to live a double life now. Like, I am pretty convicted that something needs to change. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah.
Is it just I need to be 5% more religious, but I can still have fun? Like, where is the gauge there? Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I pretty much went back and forth throughout the entirety of my senior year. And towards the end of my senior year, I was asked to attend a Latin Mass. And I went to a Latin Mass, and that is definitely a pivotal moment always in my heart. I don't know that that was the moment. I was like, I'm transferring, but it's enough of a moment for me to never forget that. And for me to have recognized a reverence there in that Mass where I was like, this answers my confusion. And not necessarily.
Your senior year of high school?
Or sorry, my senior year of college. Did I say high school?
Yeah, you said high school.
My bad.
No, you're
no
good.
college.
You're good. Senior of college.
College, yeah.
Okay.
My senior year of college, I got invited to a Latin Mass.
So wait, you mean your freshman year?
Freshman year.
Of college?
Yeah. Yeah, freshman
No worries.
year.
No worries. Yeah.
Yeah, the time. Yeah, my freshman year of college. I
Okay.
say senior because it was my 1 year at Florida State.
Okay,
so in my
yeah.
head, it's like senior,
I
but
gotcha.
no,
Don't worry about
not senior year.
Don't worry about it.
My freshman year of college.
Gotcha.
Towards the end of the year, I got asked to a Latin Mass. That was a pivotal moment for sure.
Okay. At FSU. And
At
then
FSU.
Who asked you?
Yeah, so actually, funny story in itself, but when I was kind of in this shoot back and forth, I was often still skipping Sunday Mass because there would be plans the night before, but I would sometimes go to daily Mass and just sit there.
Because that's a huge jump to go from like a regular daily Mass, run-in-the-mill Novus Ordo Sunday Mass to a Latin Mass, especially as not like a very very much so as a practicing Catholic.
I truly thought the only difference between the Novus Ordo and the Latin Mass was a different language.
Yeah.
Like that was all I thought. So I would have never ventured in. It's like, why? What? I don't understand Latin. But long story short, I went to a couple daily Masses here and there, and it started to become a bit of a consistent schedule. But again, like I didn't understand what was happening in the Mass. Yeah. It was kind of just like a drawing there. And there's this super awesome, great guy. And he was like, hey, I'd love to take you out. Let's go to a Latin Mass. And that was
beast.
like, I know.
Absolute beast.
I look back, I'm like, wow, that's a good dude right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I call it a date, call it divine providence.
Yeah.
That's how I ended up
All
at a
the
Latin
above.
Mass. All the above. Yeah, God bless him. But that is how I got there.
Okay. And then you said that there was something different about that Mass.
Yeah.
Could you go a little more into that? What
Sure.
was, because it's a culture shock.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's nothing, we have a video up. We released it a couple weeks ago about the Latin Mass, and in there I just talk about how my own first experience, and then how honestly there's nothing on planet Earth like that experience.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, if you could just give us that experience of yours.
It's almost something that I feel words don't do fair justice, and I'm sure you relate to that, but
absolutely.
I think to anyone who's ever questioned attending the Latin Mass, I would just encourage them to go. And just like let that experience do what it will, because it will do something. The Lord always does. But I think what I can put into words was when I said it, it answered my confusion. There wasn't one person kneeling there with their like 50 kids all in matching overalls and like button up everything. They were so sweet and precious. There wasn't one family that appeared to be questioning the presence of the Lord in the Eucharist. There wasn't one. Everyone there was convicted that Jesus was there and that he was present. And I didn't have that. I was not convicted. So I was the one in the room like, wow, this is weird. Yeah. Whereas everywhere else, it seemed that when I kind of poked questions about the church, I found confusion in other people and I found doubt in other people. And I think, going somewhere with your questions and only finding doubt only deepens your doubt. But I went to this Latin Mass and like, first off, this gentleman could answer all my questions, which was great. And that was new for me.
Yeah.
Not to say that I liked the answers, but he had them, which was great. But nobody in this tiny little church in Jacksonville, Florida, was confused, and that was a gift.
That's awesome.
In an era where there's just constant confusion, it was just absolutely. Like I was free.
Yeah, and then so you said something you said that was pretty striking was the fact of everyone in that Mass was this is God. Yeah, this is God. Here.
Oh, for sure.
So you talk about the Eucharist a little bit. So what was your disposition towards your faith in the Eucharist and your belief in the Eucharist leading up to that point, I'd say?
Yeah. I would say I have always been of course, like being Catholic is faith and reason. It's both. But what was always lacking in me was the trust that there was a rational explanation for our beliefs. So prior to that, I had done rabbit holes on Eucharistic miracles, and I had gone down those those rabbit holes before. I just had never seen anything like that. It almost just felt like it's always in like some distant, far off church in the middle of nowhere. And here I am at the Catholic Student Center in Florida State. And I'm like, it would never happen here. So that's where I just lacked faith. So I think like everything else in my testimony, like my relationship with the Lord was just dysfunctional. Yeah. And it was on me that it was
But it was a matter of fact if you did want to believe.
I did. I think I did. Yeah. Yeah, and when you asked me...
You just needed to see people...
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. People who were bought in and, like, locked. Because, how can you strive towards something if you've never seen it done well?
That is...
You just kind of, dwindle. So that's what I did.
Yeah. It speaks to, it's a cliche saying, but it's so true. Actions speak louder than words. Yeah. This is something I find very frustrating with, especially growing up. I remember... just finding a lot of, you could say Cafeteria Catholics, when I grew up in South Carolina, we had a lot of, it's very much so just like you said, go to Mass. That's about it. Yeah. That's about it. And then they live these lives of degeneracy or just complete, in a lot of ways, just complete distance from God. In a very superficial way, they just exactly like you said, like I would say that I am Catholic. Yeah. It's very much a, you say cultural Catholicism. Yeah. Which can be very dangerous. Sure. Very, very dangerous.
Yeah. I think one note on the Cafeteria Catholic thing is I always try and caution myself when I feel like I meet someone who is, quote, Cafeteria Catholic, because I didn't understand that I was putting myself in this cafeteria and only choosing. Exactly. These people don't even know that Catholicism is more than Sundays. Exactly.
And that's where the tragedy lies.
And that's where it's hard. It's not like it shouldn't be this division between, oh, I'm a practicing Catholic and them over there, they're Cafeteria Catholics. I'm like, no. We need to be showing them like with love and joy, like I was shown that when you actually like take Catholicism in its whole and you don't pick it to pieces, like that's where it's supposed to exist.
And a beautiful part of your story, we haven't even finished it yet, but a beautiful part of your story is just the ministry of witness, the ministry of presence. That is such a huge, there's something to be said about, even me and you viewers, there's something to be said about just like you guys being here, tangibly like in front of us. There's a difference in when you go we were talking off screen about doing public speaking, and versus this sort of setting. Public speaking is just a little bit more riveting. Yeah. Just the fact of you have tangible people in front of you. Yeah. Which also, you can even say plays into the whole thing of why Christ left us sacraments. We need something that's tangible to help us because we're very weak creatures, to say the least. But to go on in your story, so you're at your second semester at FSU, you just experienced crazy experience in Latin Mass through this gentleman. So what happens after that?
Yeah. So I go back to normal life. I go back to kind of the shoot mentality of trying to balance both. And I finish out my freshman year. That was it. I went out the last night that I was in Tallahassee, Florida. And I bring that up to share, to the last moment I was in this space, I was still choosing something that now I recognize as nothing but misery for myself, but I didn't even know. So finish out freshman year, think in my head, good freshman year. That was fun, guys. See y'all next year. And then rather spontaneously, I take a job on a ranch in Montana over the summer after my freshman year. Okay. Super random. Yeah. What else is new with my life? But I'm on this ranch. I'm not even on this ranch for very long. I'm on this ranch and I'm completely surrounded by the silence. And it's like Yellowstone scenery on all sides. Wow. And the cell service was awful. So I couldn't just get on TikTok and scroll or on Instagram. And I was just alone with my questions, specifically those questions of, what do I want more, a good time or a good family one day? And then also just the question of, could there be more to Catholicism? I met some awesome people during my freshman year. I almost said senior again. During my freshman year at FSU who just had that joy, like my friends here in Ave. Yeah. But I also met people who were equally as fun in a very different way out. So it was just a lot of confusion. But as I wrapped up my time at this ranch, it was just a conviction. It was more a decision. I'm going to give Catholicism a shot, a true shot, until I graduate college.
Okay.
So whatever it means to be Catholic, I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to do it. But if I graduate college and I'm still confused, I'm leaving the church, one. And two, I'm never looking back because I gave it a full shot.
Yeah, I gave it a full shot.
So I made a deal with God, which a couple years later I realized I was in no position to do, but he's still incredibly good and merciful and met me where I was at. And I knew part of that deal. If I could not say I was going to give Catholicism a shot, granted the first year at Florida State, and continue going there. I knew that. I needed a deeper formation, and I needed to give theologians a chance to talk to me. I wasn't going to get that in my sociology class at FSU. So I transferred to Ave Maria University, and I came back home.
Gyrenes.
Go Gyrenes. Whatever that is
Yeah,
to
whatever
this day.
that is. Yeah.
So yeah, I came back home, and I mean, I think we know how it played out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so that time at that ranch in Montana,
Yeah.
did you have any sacraments available to you?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, so it was literally just,
Oh yeah.
wow.
Supernatural grace.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. So you go to this ranch, go to Montana. Afterwards, how long were you there for?
I was there for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It was not a long.
Okay, not a long time.
Yeah.
And you were just working.
Yeah.
Okay. So you come back from that ranch and you have your eyes set on Ave.
Yeah.
So you transfer there. What's Ave is pretty much very much a culture shock to a lot of people who come from a public school setting or a big state school setting.
Sure.
So what is that first semester like for you? And also your faith and your disposition towards your faith.
Yeah. I think first semester was really hard. And I don't know that I showed that it was as hard as I actually was feeling. I think I was not transparent in how much, I was still questioning. But part of my deal was I was going to do what it meant to be Catholic. So I wasn't going to come to Ave and expect to have the same nightlife that I was experiencing at Florida State.
Yeah.
So I knew that coming in. So it wasn't so much of like, this is culture shock. Why is it like this? It was just like, I don't understand why I can't do X, Y, and Z. But I wasn't mad that there wasn't that opportunity. So yeah, I would say first semester was still a lot of questions, but more importantly, it was meeting people that changed my life, hands down.
Yeah. And were you able to find people to answer those questions?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In all different places too. Like definitely friends, but also roommates and professors. It was like the Lord saying to me, you had questions and you've told me you've had questions. Yeah. So I'm going to answer them in every aspect of your life, like everywhere.
Can you give an example of
sort
of, any faith question you had or any doubt you had and who you don't have to say who.
No, of course.
But how they answered it for sure.
Sure. Yeah. So I'll explain. I mean, I think just one question specifically in the female side of the church is just like, it is very easy to be told by the world that modesty restricts and that we're being restricted by not being able to wear X, Y, and Z. So I came to Ave with that question and I was confused. And pretty early on, I met a friend and I've always been very blunt with my questions. Yeah. So I brought that question up real early on. Yeah. And funny that it was a he that had this conversation with me. He had like a 20-minute conversation with me about how modesty was never that women should cover up because they're showing too much. It was always that women should, respect their dignity and, quote, cover up because we're showing too little about who we are, like, as a whole. And, I mean, since then, I've gone down 5 million rabbit holes of, like, how I can share that with others because I know that, I mean, modesty is just a hot topic. And it pushes a lot of people away. And I understand. I used to be so pushed away by modesty. When I went to the Latin Mass, for example, at Florida State. Sure that was part of the gentleman had to give me like a dress code. And I was bothered by it, but now in retrospect, I'm like, wow, like how beautiful that somebody wanted me to be seen as a whole and not as just, a collection of parts for attention. So it's such a gift, but that's an example of a doubt and then how that was answered. Yeah.
And then your time at Ave, you were at Ave for 2 years.
2 years.
You graduated early. So during your 2 years at Ave, what would you say is the biggest piece of growth you could say in your internal disposition towards our Lord? How did God just work obviously he's worked a ton.
I'm like, shoot, I'm in the
Yeah.
shoot spot again.
Yeah.
How do I answer? There's so many ways. Like, I
Mhm.
can't even explain everything in my life changed, but I'm still like Kylie.
Yeah.
Like, my personality is very similar. Like, and I think that's just a misconception that being religious or having a conversion or a reversion changes your life and like makes you boring.
Yeah.
Like, boo.
Yeah.
That is not the truth. Just as spontaneous, just as random, but I just know that there's purpose now behind every day. And yeah, I mean, I think one area I can definitely pinpoint that answered a lot of my questions and yeah, it was just, I feel like I developed a sensitivity for the Lord's heart. And so I think of things that I do now, or I think of things that I used to do, and it's the melancholic temperament, I'm telling you. But
Yeah.
I almost feel like I feel him hurting because that's not what he made me for.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't make me to act in a certain way that would be harmful to myself. He wanted me to be loved and to be taken care of. And yeah, I mean, I just have complete conviction of that now. You know, like,
Yeah.
the Lord's heart hurts when I don't take care of myself and when I don't take care of others. So I will not hurt his heart anymore.
Yeah.
And that pretty much solves that. I mean,
That's
it's like,
yeah, it's beautiful.
yeah, you just want to live a happy life and be good to people. So
Yeah. Awesome. So you kind of talked about briefly your search for meaning.
yeah.
Kind of backtracking a little bit to FSU. Would you say, so you said you had a fun year.
Yeah.
Would you say that fun year was was filling to you in some way?
Okay, I'm going to go hot take and I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to explain why I'm going to say yes. Everyone else will say no, it's not fulfilling. And I would say it was fulfilling to the extent that I understood what I was on earth for.
Yeah.
So one thing that I learned at Ave Maria, which changed my life, was like, you judge something as good or bad based on what it's made for. So like a broom, it's a good broom if it sweeps well. Like, great. It's a bad broom if it doesn't. Yeah. Okay, the same thing applies to life. Like, you live a good life if, and you have to fill in that statement.
Yeah.
You either ascribe to a belief, which now I ascribe to, I live a good life if I know and I love God. Or you, at freshman year, I live a good life if I have fun and meet as many people as possible and make 5 million memories. That's what I thought. So was I fulfilled with my current worldview? Yes. Would that have fulfilled me now? No. And I think that's the danger of, I was told so many times after I transferred from people like, oh, that was the old you.
Yeah.
Or like, that wasn't even you. Like, you must have changed so much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, in a sense, like, I see the truth there, but I am still and will always be Kylie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that's that.
Yeah.
But the Lord deepened my understanding of life and what it's for. So
beautiful. And then, okay, so so that search for meaning that continues at Ave.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you had plenty of times where you wrestled with God on a lot of things.
Still.
Yeah.
I mean, don't be fooled, y'all. Like,
absolutely.
Still wrestle.
Absolutely. So would you say there was a moment, because when you come into Ave, you're kind of just like, okay, God, I'm here. You have a shot. Like, the ball's in your court.
Yeah.
So is there a moment you would say you can pick out that you're like, this is the truth. Like, this is what I want to put my whole, like, this is what I wanted to stake my whole life on now.
Sure. Yeah.
If there's not a moment,
I mean,
that's okay. But
I would say there is. And it wasn't in the way maybe I thought I would anticipate it, but when I was a month in, 2 months in, I went to public school like 20 minutes away from the university. So I still had a lot of friends in the area from school. And specifically, I had a mentor who was just incredible. And he passed away of cancer my second month that I was a new transfer back in Ave.
Wow. And
I mean, heart-wrenching, but also such a gift that I was able to be in town when he passed. And after he passed, I got to go to the hospital. He'd already passed away, but I just got to be there. And I got to sit there, and it was trippy because it's like, you just watched a man who, he taught me everything that the Lord didn't, of like how to shoot, how to cook a steak, how to drive a truck, like all those fun, just Florida things. He taught me, and now he's just lifeless in front of you. And it's something that nothing prepares you for. And I just remember sitting there, and I had a rosary in my purse, and I remember just being like, he has to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, the life I'm living and the life that I'm so confident in, which is just do what you want. How does that answer this question of where is he now? So yeah, I would say that moment.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. See, but not the typical, like,
Yeah.
Mother Mary didn't appear to me when I
Yeah,
closed my
yeah.
eyes. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like that. Like, I lost someone and I was faced with the question of, yeah, like, where is
Where
he?
is he?
And
Wow.
he wasn't practicing Catholic. Like,
Hmm.
so there's a lot of questions there. Like,
Yeah.
where is he? And like, yeah, of course, love doesn't disappear. So the love that I had for him as he mentored me all through high school, still there. So now
Yeah.
it's like, what do I do with it?
Yeah.
And now it's like, I pray for him every day.
Wow.
Like, it's so cool the way the Lord just
Yeah.
does things. But yeah, I would say that moment brought me to a stop of like, what's it going to be?
Yeah.
Like, you can say, I'm going to go back and forth all you want, but now somebody's gone. So what are you going to do?
Yeah. And that's a real that's a real change. Like,
Yeah.
that's a huge substantial change in your life because like you said, that person, mentor,
Yeah.
you said second, like basically
He was like he was a father.
second
Yeah.
father for you.
Yeah.
And that's no joke.
Yeah.
So okay, wow, it's beautiful. It's funny how death like really turns on that switch of
Sure.
just like you said, where is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of beauty in that.
Yeah.
And that's a very honest reaction.
Sure.
That's the reaction of any, like, it's the common question of little kids, like, why
Yeah.
and how
Yeah.
and what.
Sure.
So yeah, that's beautiful. So that's what you would say is your defining moment of
Yeah.
okay, where is he?
Yeah.
So there's something more here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my life will end. Like, I just watched somebody else be lifeless. One day the people that love me will be looking at me thinking the same
They're
thing.
the same way. Wow.
So like, yeah, what do I want to be remembered as?
Yeah.
And am I going to waste time not getting my questions answered?
Yeah.
Or am I just going to take myself to office hours of these professors that know what they're talking about and just be so for real with them? Like,
That's a very honest and intense.
So that was it.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't skip a class after he passed away. Like, I went straight to class. And I had a ton of theology classes my first year transferring in. So it was great. I mean, painful and hard. And sometimes I was just like, tears are pouring down my face. But like, I was set on getting those questions answered.
Wow. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
Let's go. Okay. So then you graduate
Yeah.
with communications.
Yes.
Are you thinking at all, what am I going to do with this? Or you're just, what is your kind of plan going out, like,
Sure.
from school?
Yeah. So I actually was in metaphysics class. Believe it or not, the Lord somehow brought me through that class alive. And yeah, we were sitting outside. I brought my iced coffee to class per usual. And then I go on a work trip. This sounds so random. It does connect, I promise.
Okay.
I go on a work trip. I come back to metaphysics class the next week and my coffee mug is still sitting there. And I'm like, what? I didn't even know I forgot it.
Yeah.
But it had not moved. And it had stormed in Ave because it was filled with like rainwater and it was really gross.
Yeah.
But the cup hadn't moved. And right then, something clicked in my just gut. And I was discerning at the time, do I stay in Ave Maria after I graduate or do I go apply anywhere for a job? Do I just kind of full send post-grad? Yeah. And right then when I looked at that cup, what clicked for me was Ave Maria will be here when you get back, just like this cup.
Whoa.
But I'm calling you out. So it was that day that I started looking for jobs outside of Ave Maria. Okay. Didn't know what I was going to do. Had a communications major. What does one do? The Lord only knows.
Yeah.
So I just kept applying and I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on catholicjobs.com, all of the different places. But the only other time that I've ever felt a conviction that strong was I was walking past the 24-hour chapel right by the library on campus here. And I saw two of my best friends. One was going in the chapel and my other best friend was holding the door as she went in. So they were like swapping. And it was like, my heart was like, but like, Lord, I want to stay in Ave. Like, these are all my friends. And what clicked for me was, I'm calling you to a place where you'll be the youngest in the chapel. Like, there are places across the U.S. where the Lord isn't visited. And there are 24-hour chapels that nobody goes to. And if all the people that believe that he's really there stay in one spot, what happens to evangelization? So after that point, I was set, like, okay, I'm leaving. And he told me Ave would be here when I get back if I so desire. But I'm out of here, essentially. Yeah. So I just mass applied to probably 50 different jobs, and I landed one in Houston, Texas. And without a split second of thought, I just said, okay, there's something there for me. So moved out to Houston, and that's where I'm living now.
Yeah. And how was that first first couple of weeks adjusting to a big
Brutal.
city?
Oh,
Brutal?
literally brutal. I
Yeah.
mean, fun in the spontaneity side of me, like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness, there's endless things to do, endless coffee shops, endless churches,
Yeah.
but really hard because you go home to your apartment and you live alone.
Yeah, it's just you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And you have to face all of the vices that you have because there's nobody there to distract you.
Mm-hmm. What kind of job were you doing right there?
Yeah, so I was an executive assistant to the president of a Catholic organization
Okay. Wow.
prior to working for Truthly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Good thing you mentioned Truthly, so we're about to get into
Oh,
that.
okay,
Yeah.
sure. I
So-
would love to.
Yeah, so while you're out in Houston,
Yeah.
you start up an Instagram account, a Catholic POV.
I laugh. It's just
No,
funny
it's-
to hear.
Yeah. She has over 12K followers, which is amazing. But so what inspired you? Because I don't remember knowing you last year at all,
Sure,
and
yeah.
that was on your mind at all.
Sure.
And what inspired you to just create?
Yeah. I would say one, a desire the Lord put on my heart. Like I wanted to create something. And my dad has always been an incredible artist. And I always thought I wasn't artistic because I can't draw or sing or play piano. But I realized in moving and in being alone all of the time, I wanted to create things and I wanted to create videos. And I just I like to say that I think any well-run social media account that has anything to do with the church should just be an overflow of somebody's prayer life and of their love for the Lord. So I would just leave the chapel, and I mean, the Lord was right. Like, the age gap between me and the next person in this chapel is like 50 years. Wow. So I'd leave the chapel and I'd be like, darn, like, where are my friends at?
Yeah.
Like, we got to get them in here.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking, okay, actually, where are my friends at? They're on Instagram. And so when I'm saying friends, it's like people I haven't met yet. Like, where are the people my age that just graduated college? They're on Instagram and they're on socials, but maybe they have a similar story to me at Florida State and they're Catholic, but they don't even understand that maybe they're not seeing the whole picture.
Yeah.
So
they're looking for just anybody.
Anything. Yeah. So I started this Instagram account initially under the username A Corporate Catholic, because at the time I was working the 8 to 5 in this cold office. It was just sad. But as I now work for Truthly AI, I recently changed the handle there to a Catholic POV. And that's ultimately what I want to do. I want to show the world through a Catholic perspective. That's
Awesome.
it. So
Beautiful.
yeah, I just like making videos about everything that I had misunderstood.
What would you say is your favorite video that you've posted so far?
Favorite video that I've posted. Okay, so I don't know that it's necessarily a specific video, but I do a couple different videos, kind of just random, but then I do these like Catholic friend encouragement videos, and I just hop on there and I'm like, hey guys, this is your Catholic friend encouragement. I love those. And when I don't love them because I think they're the most high quality videos. They're made on my iPhone and I run out of storage every day.
Yeah.
But I love them because I think that's what the Lord would do. He's just like our Catholic friend who encourages. Like, yeah, it's so wonderful. I feel the most myself when I make those videos. And I look back at pictures and videos that I made on social media my freshman year of college at Florida State. And I'm like, that was such a distortion of what I was supposed to be doing. So yeah, I was somewhat right in that I wanted to be on social media and to create, but I was creating at the wrong capacity early on. So, I mean, that's another major thing I learned from Ave, just like ordering your desires. The things you want are good. They just have to be ordered.
That's a beautiful parallel you made with your Instagram account you had at FSU and then now.
So many parallels.
Yeah.
God works in full circle moments.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So, okay, so you start this account over the summer.
Yeah.
It pops off. Absolutely pops off. Don't be too modest.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then Truthfully reaches out to you.
Yeah.
And how did that start to go?
So that is what I like to call an absolute miracle in my life, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm working this 8 to 5 job, and for my first day of work, I'm going to be just so honest, I was crying on my lunch breaks. I was trying to go to mass on my lunch breaks, and I was just crying. I felt like it wasn't my skill set. I was managing like back-end portfolios, very not people-facing role. And yeah, there was no creativity because I was ghostwriting for somebody else. I was essentially just being somebody's support, which is such a gift. But I don't think it was what the Lord had in store for me. So yeah, I just start making content on the side It's what I needed to kind of get through those early post-grad months. And one day I make this video. Hey guys, this is your Catholic friend encouragement to read books. One day I was just like, nobody reads anymore. Like, what the heck? And my caption on that video was, we should be reading because AI cannot pass down the seed of faith. Somebody saw that caption and tagged Truthly AI and said, actually, now with Truthly AI, AI can. And Truthly responded and said, actually, like that, I forget their exact, you'd have to go in the comments, but they were essentially saying like, we are not trying to pass down the seed of faith in AI. We're trying to equip people to do so. So ultimately, our app exists to lead people back to books. So we were on the same page, me and Truthly.
Yeah.
And they DM'd me from there, and it was just like super great. Hey, Kai, all of the co-founders here at Truthly at the time started out in the corporate world. Like, we really appreciate the audience that you're hitting, and we would love to just talk more and maybe get a partnership going.
Wow.
So I think I was 20 years old at the time. I was like, forget a partner. I would love mentorship.
Absolutely.
Just tell me what you wish you knew. And more specifically, before I get into any sort of partnership, anything, what are your values? And this AI, this is obviously like a new era for the Catholic world. New tech and a religious overlap is not something I'd ever seen before. So yeah, I got on this call with one of the co-founders, Jake. Blew my mind in so many ways. It's like, how do I explain? I think the mission of what he's trying to do with Truthly blew my mind. Him as a co-founder, and I mean, he is the founder, but also co-founder with other co-founders. So it was his idea, blew me away. And then him as just an individual blew my mind. On fire for life. Like that sort of cliche joy that I mentioned earlier. That was him in a person like this. And now he's my boss. Awesome. So the Lord is so cool. But that's how that started. And then after some time, I'm doing weekly calls with Jake and with one of the other co-founders, Zach, just as incredible. Copy paste everything I just said about Jake to Zach. Same thing, incredible. I just told him, I mean, whether it be 6 months or 6 years from now, if you ever feel like you need somebody to come on full time, I'll quit my job tomorrow. And then on my birthday, which they did not know it was my birthday, we got on a call. They offered me the job.
Wow.
And my birthday is St. Maximilian Kolbe's feast day. So that was huge for me. I didn't talk about St. Maximilian Kolbe a ton in this episode, but long story short, from when I started the Instagram account, he was the one that I'd pray to before posting a video of like, just do with this what you will. If this gets one view, but it's somebody who needed to see it, thy will be done. If you want it to go somewhere and hit some algorithm somewhere, thy will be done. Just, use me, please, so my life isn't a waste. And so getting that job offer on my birthday was insane. And now I work for Truthly and it is a blast. And my first work trip for them was actually traveling to Florida State and speaking at their Catholic center, which was last week. So when I say God works in full circle moments,
he does.
I'm not kidding.
He's
so intentional. So download Truthly.
How did you come across Maximilian Kolbe?
So St. Maximilian Kolbe was actually the first saint I was ever aware of. Like when my parents were explaining to me saints, it was St. Maximilian Kolbe. And that was because my mom wasn't supposed to be able to have children. And she had health issues, and the doctors pretty much told her at one point, you're not going to be able to have kids. She joined Militia Immaculata, which is like a Catholic group that St. Maximilian Kolbe started way back in the day. And she prayed every day. And 9 months later, I'm born on his feast day. So it was just full circle moment. Like, how many times can I say that? We need a full circle moment count. So it was just always, and that was the root of these questions. Like, I want to believe. Because if not, these really weird things keep happening.
He interceded for you big time.
I mean, big time. And still intercedes. And one of his most famous quotes is like, when you kneel before the Blessed Sacrament, do so, like, represent that you know who you're kneeling before. That's what happened to me at the Latin Mass. Like, at every different point in my life, he's been there. And I mean, he was evangelization pro back in the day, like with a printing press. And like, that was what the times required of him. And that's what he did. So when people ask me like, what's your stance on social media? Why are you on social media? Because it's as good as the person using it. And social media just needs people.
Absolutely.
That's where people are. So.
We need people to stand in the breach.
So
that's what we need.
That will be done.
That's what Maximilian Kolbe did. I think his martyrdom his martyrdom, and you went to the premiere of
Another,
Triumph of the Heart.
How on earth did I manage to end up at that movie premiere?
Yeah.
God's grace. Bawled my eyes out for 2 hours and had a blast. And that was that.
Yeah, I think that speaks to the depths of his ministry.
Yeah.
And the way, and the fact that those dates you just said all correspond with each other, that's like,
yeah,
that's purely divine. Like that's, you can't explain that.
Yeah.
You cannot explain that. Wow. Beautiful.
Thank you.
That's awesome, Kylie.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I hope you guys really enjoyed that. Just a beautiful, beautiful story. We're going to take a few minutes here just to kind of have some overarching overview of Kylie's story and a few questions that I want to ask her as well, just in her whole perspective. So Kylie, what would you say to somebody who's interested, who's left the Catholic Church, but is still open and interested to, just like you said, like wanting to believe? What piece of advice would you give them?
I would say, and this might be specific to the person, all I can speak from is my experience, but things don't change in the same environment that's toxic. So if you're actually going to give Catholicism a shot, it might require a change. And it doesn't have to be as drastic as transferring schools. One of the things I wanted to nail home when I got the great gift of speaking at Florida State was, you guys don't have to transfer to be Catholic. That's not the message I want to promote. The Lord is everywhere. But certain situations require big changes. And so if somebody has left the church and is questioning, like how to give that a go, I would encourage them to just go all in. And you don't have to make a deal with God like I did. I don't know that that's prudent or that I should be promoting that either, but he's there and he hears you and he sees your effort. And so going all in and then being honest with yourself. Like if you struggle with understanding modesty like I did, try dressing modestly, not because you understand it, but because you want to understand it. Dress modestly for a week and tell me that you don't feel more dignified as a woman after. Like try it and then be honest with yourself. That's what I would say.
Beautiful. I'd also say pray the rosary.
Yeah.
Mother Mary's here. But she, if you guys give your life to her, she just brings you to Christ. You know, they say Mary is like the sun. They say Mary is like the moon, because she reflects the sun. Yeah. And that's a very true statement. So next question I wanted to ask you, what is one piece of advice for someone who's new to the Latin Mass, who's never experienced it or is just interested in it?
Sure. I would say relieve yourself of the pressure to feel like you have to understand everything. One, relieve yourself of any sort of stereotype that the Lord isn't just as present in other masses. That is not the case. Absolutely, I think that I find myself entering deeper into the Mass at Latin Mass. However, day to day, I'm going to a Novus Ordo. So absolutely, like go where you enter more deeply into the Mass. And I think on a natural level, like that happens through silence and meditation. But give it a try. I would shout out Mass of the Ages. Watch that documentary on YouTube. I mean, that's insane. Breaks down what's going on, answers any questions. So research there.
Yeah, something beautiful about that part of your story. That I don't personally relate to, but I have a good family friend who he was in high school. He was 16 years old, non-denominational Protestant, never experienced anything Catholic before. And him and his best friend, who's another family friend of mine now, they were in New York I'm pretty sure it was a school field trip or something like that. And the kid who was a practicing Catholic said to the teacher, "I have to go to Mass. It's Sunday." And the Mass that they went to, it was funny enough, all these kids went to a Latin Mass.
Sweet.
In New York, and this kid, he's now in seminary now. Dang. Which is insane to say. But he went up to his friend. They're both best friends now. He went up to his friend right immediately after Mass and was like, "I don't know what this is, but I want this." Yeah. Immediately. And then he started his RCIA program and everything, and now he's a Catholic seminarian on his way to be a priest. And the point I'm trying to make is that there's something like you said, you can't really put it into words, that experience of the Latin Mass. Yeah. Because it's done it's done in a divine way.
I mean, it's supernatural. Like, if we could
Absolutely.
explain it in natural terms, it would be a disservice.
Yeah.
Like, it would be a cop-out. If we could just
Yeah,
explain it in natural
absolutely.
terms, like, it wouldn't be what we're kind of making it
Yeah.
out to be.
And I think what it captures the most is the fact of just the pure mystery and majesty that God is.
Yeah.
I think we tend to lose that in our, not just our secular culture, but our modern culture, culture.
Yeah.
That places a real emphasis on material things.
Sure.
And the beautiful thing about the Latin Mass is that there is a sense of materialness to it, because it's the charism in the Latin Mass very much so is just elegance and beauty and aesthetic, which is just leads us to heaven.
Yeah.
And we need that. Like I said earlier, we're incarnate beings, and we're weak people, so we need as much help as possible to raise our minds and our souls to heaven.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then my last question to you, what's your biggest takeaway from your own story that you can give to our audience here?
Yeah. I would say the idea that your life is a gift, and it's not just a gift that you get to do whatever you want with. It's a gift that one day when you die, you're going to be asked, what did you do with? Every gift that has ever been given to you, from your parents to your siblings to a college education, everything, athletic ability, you're going to be asked. It's going to be put in front of you by the Lord, and you're going to have a heart attack because you're looking at the Lord one.
Yeah.
And you don't need extra things to be nervous about, so you might as well steward what you have well, so that when you see him, you can look into his eyes and you can say that I've loved you well. Yeah, I mean, that's the goal, right? To
Absolutely.
just look at him and say, like, yeah, I recognize that everything I had was from you to begin with, and because of that, I took care of it, so now I can give it back to you. That's the goal. So yeah, I would just say, thy will be done. That's it. Like, waking up every day. I actually, the last thing I'll say, I met this awesome basketball player here at Ave, and one of the things he told me is that every day he woke up, and he was like embarrassed to tell me this. It wasn't like, I'm telling you this so you should give. It was like, I'm embarrassed to tell you this, but every day I wake up and I kiss the floor and I say, thy will be done. And that's the first thing I do with my day. And I was like, dang.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And it's all about doing that same practice on the days that you are just like, what the heck?
And on the days you're
What's
selfish
going on?
and you're like, this is my life. Like, that's how
absolutely.
I am sometimes. I'm like, this is my life. I'm going to do what I want, or I'm going to be lazy. And then I'm like, we can't be doing this.
Exactly. Yeah. And to do it on the days that are the hardest is, that's how you know, that's real faith.
Sure.
That's real perseverance. And that's obviously grace from God.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Thy will be done. That's all I got.
That will be done. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Kylie, for coming on the show.
Of course.
I hope you guys got I hope you guys had a good time in listening to Kylie's story. I'm thankful for you guys for watching. Again, Kylie, thank you so much for coming on the show. We'll be praying for you. We ask for your prayers.
Oh, yes.
To my audience, praying for you guys. Please be praying for us. Pray the rosary. Pray the rosary. Mother Mary's literally here, so please. To sign off, there's a battle going on for your soul, so stay in that battle, and God bless you all. Have a good rest of your day.